For the January book report, I read the book Red Scarf Girl, a memoir of the Cultural Revolution by Ji Li Jiang. In this book, the Cultural Revolution was talked about, which was when took place in the late 1960s, and it was when Chairman Mao put extreme political, social, and economic reforms into place to prevent the restoration of capitalism and to turn China into a communist country. Also, he wanted to make sure that nobody was trying to weaken his power and take over his authority. Anybody who didn't support his new socialist ideas and didn't practice them were either killed or severely punished, as were those who practiced religion or criticized the government or had a superior attitude. Everyone had to follow the rules from the Little Red Book, which was a book of quotes from Mao Zedong, which helped spread his Maoist ideas even further. The goal of the Cultural Revolution was to make everybody equal so that no one would be smarter or richer than anybody else, and essentially to make a classless society. The author used the event as a central idea because the whole story takes place during the Cultural Revolution, and it is the story of her life. She grew up during the Cultural Revolution, and at the time she was only about 12. And she uses the event well because she shows the kind of things that happened during the Cultural Revolution because of the reforms and rules that Chairman Mao put in place, and what happened to family and friends and why. It just shows how somebody's life could be affected by the Cultural Revolution and how, and she uses it, and it's more powerful just because it's her own story. I thought that Red Scarf Girl could connect to the Industrial Revolution just because the Industrial Revolution was also an event that changed laws, and new laws and regulations were put in place, and essentially society changed, and people's lives were affected, and they were able to feel the effects just because of all the changes that were put in place, just like in China at that time, whether they liked it or not, and whether it turned out for the better.